Today we're going to look at 4.5, which is writing a function rule. Our goal for today is to write equations that represent functions. Now the thing with writing function rules is you need to read the problem carefully. The words have all the information you need. You just need to make sure you figure out what is what. So number 1 says a landfill has 50,000 tons of waste in it. Each month, it accumulates an average of 420 more tons of waste. What is a function rule that represents the total amount of waste after Y months? So when we write our function rule, we always have a total. So our total is unknown. We usually represent the total with the value Y. It's like our output. That's our Y value. Now, we want to figure out the total amount of waste. We know that we're starting with 50,000 tons of waste because it says a landfill has 50,000 tons of waste. Plus, every month, it accumulates 420 more tons of waste. So if I want to write this as an equation, we are starting with 50,000 tons. Plus, every month, we get 420 more tons. So I would take 420 times the number of months that I'm looking at. Well, it doesn't tell me how many months. It's saying represent it with an M. So this would be times M. So for example, if you wanted to look at the total amount of waste after 2 months, you would take 420 times 2 and then add 50,000 to it. This is our function rule. So that's our answer. So in these, you're always looking for a starting amount and then how it can change each month or per year or per day. So if you look at number 2, a kennel charges $15 per day to board dogs. Upon arrival, each dog must have a flea bath that costs $12. Write a function rule for the total cost for n days of boarding plus a bath. So again, we're looking for a total cost. So that's our Y equals. No matter how many days the dogs stay, they are going to have a flea bath when they get there. So, no matter what, they're having a flea bath that costs $12. So that's the starting amount. They start with $12. Plus, it's going to cost them $15 per day to board the dogs. So every day that they stay, they're going to have to pay an additional $15. So I do plus $15 times the number of days that they stay. Because if they stay 1 day, right, they would be charged $15 plus the $12 for a flea bath. If they stayed 2 days, they would be charged $30, 15 times 2, plus the $12 that it costs for the bath. If they stayed 3 days, it would cost $45 plus the $12 for the bath. Since it's not telling me how many days, it's just giving me a variable, this would be 15 times n. And this would be my answer. Now, we're going to go ahead and skip 3, so you guys can cross that out. We're going to look at 4. It says the price of a pizza is $6.95 plus 95 cents per topping on the pizza. Write a function rule for the total cost for a pizza. So again, I'm looking at my total cost for a pizza with T toppings. So no matter what, the pizza that you're ordering costs $6.95. That's my starting amount. But if you add toppings, the price of your pizza is going to increase. So you get charged $6.95 plus 95 cents per topping. So if I do 1 topping, it's just going to cost me 95 cents. But if I do 2 toppings, it would cost me $1.90. If I do 3 toppings, it would cost me $2.85 or 75 cents. But whatever it is, what I would be doing is taking 95 times the total number of toppings I get on my pizza. Since I'm not sure exactly how many toppings I'm getting, I just use t because that's the variable I'm given. So this would be my function rule. So let's look at the last example. It says an archery club charges an annual membership fee of $65 plus $2 per visit. Write a function rule for the total cost of belonging to the club if you make V visits in a year. How much would it cost if you use the club 15 times in a year? So this one, it has 2 parts. The first thing, we need to write a function rule. We're looking at the total cost, so y equals, for belonging to the club. Well, no matter what, you get charged $65 for the membership. So, automatically, my cost, I have $65. Plus, they get charged $2 per visit. So if I go to the club 1 time, I'm going to get charged $67. If I go to the club 2 times, I would get charged $69. 3 times, $71. 4 times, $73, and etc. So since I'm not sure how many visits I'm going to make, I do 2 times V. That's my function rule. Now it's asking how much would it cost if you use the club 15 times in a year. So in this case, we know how many visits we're making. We know our V, it's 15. So I'm going to take the function rule that I just wrote, and I am going to replace the V with 15. Then I'm going to solve for y. Remember your order of operations, you need to multiply first. So this would be 65 plus 30, because 2 times 15 is 30. And now 65 plus 30 is 95. So it would cost $95 to visit the club 15 times in a year. Now, this was lesson 4.5. Make sure you fill out the Google form, and I will see you all tomorrow.